This DVD from Tiffin Motorhomes is designed to help you better enjoy your motorhome over the years by practicing preventative maintenance, thereby getting longer life out of many components. As we demonstrate how to perform preventative maintenance on different components, be reminded that Tiffin Motorhomes is not suggesting that any individual can properly perform any or all of these tasks, and that each one watching this DVD must decide for themselves if they are capable and properly trained for the job. All work related to air conditioning and other refrigeration work, except routine cleaning, should be done by a certified technician. This is also true with any LP gas-related work. The models shown in the background are not the only models this DVD is intended for. There are suggestions in this DVD for older models as well as the newer ones. So, watch it and enjoy. Tiffin Motorhomes always attempts to provide excellent service at its facility in Red Bay, Alabama. We, however, always recommend you try your dealer first. One way to get longer life out of any part of a motorhome is to keep it clean, and that is obviously true on the outside, so let's get started there. Cleaning the top. There is a ladder mounted on the rear of your motorhome, as well as an extension usually stored in one of the cargo compartments to assist you getting on top. Here are the things needed for this job. First is caution. That is a tall motorhome. Next, a stiff bristled brush for your use on the top only. Vinegar and baby shampoo. A caulking gun. A tube of self-leveling caulking. 100% cotton terry rags. A hose with a nozzle that provides good pressure and that has a shutoff. Now, make certain that you've got a hose a few feet longer than your motorhome. Plus, you're going to need that all-important 5-gallon bucket. These products are all available from RV dealers or discount stores. We have used all these products and know they work well, but this is not an endorsement of these products. There are other products that will also work. Make sure your ladder is firmly in place and start taking the necessary items up top. Be sure to run your hose inside the side rails of your ladder. This will keep you from scratching the sides of your coach. And it looks like this one needs a little bit of cleaning. This should be done at least once per year and perhaps more frequently depending on the number of trees where you park. Well, let's begin by scrubbing the top near the front of the coach. Most motorhomes have several items on top that should be cleaned. Some can be scrubbed with this brush. Others, like this dome, should be cleaned and dried with a soft rag. While up top, always check for cracks in the air conditioning covers. To properly clean around the air conditioners, you will need to use a rag under the edges after the brush scrubbing is complete. All fans or exhaust should be closed during the cleaning. Be sure to rinse until everything is clear of any suds or debris of any kind. Once all cleaning is complete, a thorough inspection should be made of all caulking. This includes where the top fits into the sides and the front and rear caps. You should also check around all the items on top, including horns, antennas, and anywhere wires go into the coach. Here's a screw that the caulking has pulled away from and needs to be replaced. Be sure to pull or dig away any old caulking. Clean and repair like this. You should always try to remove all the old caulking. This, however, can be a very tough task, and if you find that you can't remove, just clean and caulk over the old caulk. Make sure that all areas that have a potential to leak are well covered. This DVD makes cleaning the top look like a quick job, but that's not true in real life. So, allow yourself ample time for this chore. After removing all the items needed for cleaning on the top, let's check the front and the rear clearance lights before we get down. This will require someone in the coach to turn on the headlights when you request and then turn them off again. On bright days, shading the area of the light makes it easier to see if the light is working. Now, this can be done with something as simple as a cap. If the light is not working, remove the lens, replace the bulb, and that should fix it. At this point, have your helper send up clean water with a mixture of 1/4 cup of baby shampoo and 1/2 cup distilled white vinegar in a 5-gallon bucket, because we must clean the slide toppers. Have the helper pull out all the slides. Take the same brush and begin scrubbing the toppers, as they too become dirty and stained when left out for an extended time. Following the scrubbing, rinse thoroughly. Make sure all slide toppers are cleaned each time you wash the top. Allow these to dry before putting the slides back in. Well, let's get down and clean the pull-down awnings if your coach is so equipped. Simply pull down and put the holding strap in place. Using the same brush as on top, scrub the awning, then rinse. Leave them down until they're dry. Now that we've got the top, the slide toppers, and the pull-down awnings cleaned, it's time for the rest of the coach to have a good washing. It's also important to wash the coach after cleaning the top to be certain that all the streaks from rinsing on the top are removed. Once again, we will use the hose and nozzle and some baby shampoo and vinegar. Do not use wash and wax products. These can cause a buildup on your finish. Next, you're going to need 2 soft, clean washing heads, which can be used on the end of an extension handle or handheld. The reason for 2 washing surfaces is to make sure one is used on the undercarriage, tires, and wheels, and the other on the finish of your motorhome. And here's a new item that you will find most helpful in protecting your coach. It's called a grit guard. Place it on the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket, and this will allow grit and other small abrasive objects to fall past the guard to the bottom of the bucket and protect your wash water. It is a good idea to wash the wheel well and undercarriage areas first and remove the heavy dirt and other debris. This will keep it from splashing on the clean areas later. Be sure to change your wash water and shampoo, as this will certainly become dirty. Rinse out the one you used on the undercarriage completely before putting up. Chances are the motorhome has this protective film, Diamond Shield, on the front. What is Diamond Shield? Well, Diamond Shield is a virtually invisible protective film that's applied to the high-impact areas of the vehicle in order to protect the painted surfaces from stone chips, bug damage, UV rays, and minor abrasions. What areas of the coach are protected by Diamond Shield? Well, the standard factory Diamond Shield installation covers the front of the coach from the windshield down, behind the grab handle, around the door lock, and under the entry door, plus on the wheel wells front and rear. Some models may or may not have this as standard. The film is hard to see due to its optical clarity and our unique wrapping of the film around the edges of the covered panels. Caring for the product is very simple. Wipe it, wash it, and wax it. Care for your Diamond Shield the same way you would care for your paint. Wipe off the road grime and bug debris as soon as possible. Wash your film at least once a month and wax the protective surfaces often. We recommend waxing every 3 months. Never use anything abrasive though. We recommend using a synthetic cream wax, preferable Mother's or Meguiar's liquid cream wax, or the spray wax shown here. Diamond Shield's Nano Fusion Paint Protective Film is the leading paint protection film service in the RV industry, and it provides the most comprehensive warranty coverage. Registration of your Diamond Shield Paint Protection Film is required in order to activate your warranty. Please visit us on the web at www.diamond-shield.com and click the Registration tab to get started. Any questions? Easy. Just email us at info@diamond-shield.com. Now, do not wash or wax a new Tiffin motorhome for 60 days after the date of manufacture. That's not to say if your motorhome gets lots of dirt or grime on it, it can't be hosed off. But just not a full-fledged wash job like we're going to describe here. The reason for the 60-day wait is to give the clear coat time to properly cure, so it protects your paint the way that it's intended to. Now, to the use of high-pressure washers on your coach. This is a very tedious subject. Only people who have experience with high-pressure washers should consider using one on their motorhome. Extreme caution must be used around diamond shield areas, as well as any other areas that have decals. Nozzles should be kept at a safe distance from the finish. Well, let's get started on the main body. Wet the entire surface to be washed to loosen dirt and grime. Only wash fairly small areas at a time. Submerge the washing head or sponge in the bucket and make certain it is full of water and suds. Start at the top and work your way down, frequently rinsing out the wash head. There is no need to use heavy pressure on the wash area. Be careful. It's going to be slick with all that suds and water. After finishing an area, rinse once again with clean water to remove all the suds. To remove stubborn stains such as tar, use ammonia-based glass cleaner or a small amount of rubbing alcohol on a damp cloth, followed by soapy water, and then rinse with clean water. Now, this may not dissolve the tar or the bugs, but it will loosen them and allow their removal from the finish. Do not use solvent-based cleaners on bird droppings or tree sap. These can be removed in the same manner we just described, just with a little more elbow grease added. Now that we've got the coach clean, it's time to dry it off. Today's tap or well water contains chemicals that can stain your finish. Use a lint-free, 100% terry cotton towel. Here is another way to remove a lot of water quickly. This is called a water blade, and it takes almost no pressure to remove 90% of the water and then finish up with the 100% cotton terry cloth towels. With an extension handle, you can remove water very easily from very high places that are otherwise difficult to reach. Go to the internet and search for water blades to purchase one. To clean your wheels, we start with auto shampoo and water, along with a non-abrasive cloth or sponge. Wash all areas thoroughly, rinse, and then towel dry to eliminate water spots. To polish your wheels, use a top-grade aluminum polish and wipe off the polish with a 100% cotton terry cloth rag. Do not use any polish on wheels that have a Durabrite finish. Well, with the finish clean, now it's time to wax. Do not wax a Tiffin motorhome within 60 days of manufacture. Over 90% of all passenger vehicles finishes are clear-coated. The finish on late-model Tiffin motorhomes is state-of-the-art acrylic urethane base coat clear coat that is designed to protect the base coat, the pigmented coating that provides color. As its main function of protecting the base coat, clear coats need to be maintained, especially in harsh environments. Clear coats do not fade themselves, but appear to fade or lose gloss as the surface becomes contaminated by the environment. If this contamination is not removed frequently, the result will be a dull finish. Occasional washing alone will not remove some forms of contamination and will require polishing. Polishes and waxes primarily serve the following purposes. 1. To remove minor surface imperfections caused by water spots and acid rain. 2. To remove minor scratches by filling and leveling the surface. 3. To seal the pores of the finish, creating an easier to clean surface. 4. Beautify the paint finish appearance with more depth and high gloss. And finally, number 5, to protect the paint from the elements. Do not use wax with products that contain harsh abrasives, such as rubbing compounds. Most polishes are designed to clean and polish with one application, whether by hand or machine. Here are a couple of different waxes we know that work well on today's finishes. There are others that will work. No matter what the age of your motorhome, it will benefit from frequent washes and waxes. Okay, Let's get in a shaded area and begin the waxing. Hand-applied wax will offer outstanding performance and protect the RV finish. Work on a small area at a time. Use an applicator such as this. It should be dampened slightly. Apply a small amount of wax and rub on the finish using a circular motion. Allow the wax to dry completely and then remove the dried wax and polish with a 100% cotton terry cloth rag to a very high gloss. A machine-applied wax will last longer than hand-applied because of the high RPM buffing wheel that creates heat, resulting in a deeper film with higher gloss. Make sure anyone that's using a buffer on your coach is very experienced with them, because in the hands of a novice, buffers can cause severe damage to your finish. Here are a few hints to keep your coach looking its best. Number 1, avoid parking under trees or near ocean spray. Number 2, ice or snow should not be scraped or brushed from painted surfaces. Number 3, gravel roads should be avoided. Number 4, antifreeze, fuel, or window solvents, if spilled on the surfaces, should be rinsed off immediately with water, but do not wipe dry. And finally, number 5, bugs and bird droppings should be rinsed off with water daily. Now that you have it looking good on the outside, let's go ahead and focus on the inside, where the air conditioning is on, hopefully. Upon entering the door, you will find a fire extinguisher. Make sure you can clearly see the top of the gauge. Always be certain that the needle is pointing to the green section. If it ever points toward the red section, take it to a professional to have it recharged. Now, let's check on the smoke detector. Push this button to make certain that the batteries are still good. The carbon monoxide and LP detector are together in this one unit. Change these batteries at least once yearly to keep them running properly. Now for some help with cleaning a few items. First, the filters from your microwave oven. They are on the bottom and are easily removed. Once removed, go ahead and spray them with a mild cleaning solution, then wipe gently and rinse out thoroughly and allow to dry before reinserting. Some Tiffin coaches come with stainless steel kitchen sinks, which are very attractive when clean, but when they are dirty, not so much. There are several cleaning products that will help keep them clean, but this one does several cleaning jobs. It's Barkeeper's Friend. Take a soft rag, dampen, then wring out before sprinkling this product on the rag and start scrubbing the entire surface. A couple more applications may be needed until the entire sink is finished. Rinse off the surface and hey, that's looking pretty good. In newer models, the sinks on an Allegro bus or a Zephyr are the same finish as your countertops. These can be cleaned with warm soapy water to keep them looking great.
Let's touch on a few cleaning ideas that might save you a little time and answer some of your questions. There have been a lot of changes in the Tiffin models over the years, so it's hard to find one system to cover all the coaches, but we'll try. First, let's start with the cabinets. All you need is a good quality dusting polish and a microfiber rag. Just spray on a medium area and wipe until all the smudges and fingerprints are clean and dry. Then repeat until all the cabinets are clean. If you have a newer model with honey glazed finish on the cabinets, then you're going to want to wash them with soap and water. Here's a product that works really well. After you're finished cleaning, be sure to rinse it off with clean water and a fresh rag. Now the countertops. These should be wiped down with a clean rag and a mild cleaner, like a window cleaner or one like this. Never use a harsh cleaner because it can do serious damage. If your coach has a residential refrigerator, this is a good polish to use for removing fingerprints and other smudges, and it also makes it very shiny. Also, with a residential refrigerator, at least twice a year, remove this guard and clean it thoroughly just as you would at home. This will help keep the refrigerator operating at its best. Clean the inside of the refrigerator with a regular cleaner and a clean rag. You've probably read your manual, but just in case you haven't, here's a few tips to keep your stack washer and dryer operating properly. First, to clean the dryer lint filter. Simply reach inside to the back, pull this out, take apart, clean out the lint, put it back together, and reinsert. This should be done after every load. Now, to check the filter on the washer, open this small door, turn this counterclockwise until loose. Now pull out. This is a little messy and requires a towel to contain the water that will drain out. Clean this and then put it back, turning clockwise to tighten. This should be done frequently depending on the use of your washer. If you have the one-piece washer-dryer combo, the washer filter is located at the bottom front, similar to this one. If you have a dishwasher, it also has a filter that needs to be cleaned frequently. It is a food scrap filter. Remove the silverware tray, lift open the guard, pull out and clean, then replace. Next are the air conditioner filters that should be cleaned frequently to maintain proper operation. There are 2 rows of vents in the ceiling of coaches equipped with whisper air. On the passenger side are the blower vents, and on the driver's side are the cold air returns, and these are the ones with filters. To clean, pull down on the vent cover to remove the filter, wash clean, dry off, wipe the cover clean, and return. The cold air returns run through the entire coach. When the filters show wear, you can get replacement material from discount stores and some RV dealers. Here's a hint for keeping your holding tank smelling fresh and clean. You want to do this before you leave for a trip. First, you want to make sure the tanks are empty. Then you're going to take about a quarter of a 48-ounce bottle of pine cleaner. Pour it down each sink, also the shower and the commode. You're going to flush the commode several times and then turn on all the faucets, including the shower. Put around 10 to 15 gallons of water in each tank. Leave on your trip, and the sloshing of the pine cleaner will clean the bottom and the sides of the tanks and keep them smelling good. Finally, the floors need cleaning, and this will require use of the central vac or vacuum of your choice. Make sure the floor surface is clean of small items before continuing. You can now mop with a variety of cleaners, but don't use anything abrasive. Just plain water or soap and water will work very well. That's about it for the inside. Enjoy your coach.
Thanks, Janet. Here is another cleaning device that you will find in your coach, the Central Cleaning Vacuum. Now that we have put it together, simply plug it in here and begin to vacuum. Plug-ins may be found in different places in different coaches. Now that it's looking good inside and out, it's time to get into taking care of the overall operation of the coach. So let's get started with the tires. You will need a good 150 psi tire pressure gauge for later model homes. Older model tires may require a lesser psi gauge. Correct tire pressure will be found in your tire manual. Tire pressure is one of the most important safety features on a coach, and it should be checked frequently, especially when traveling. The most important factor in maintaining the life of Michelin RV tires is making sure they are always properly inflated. It is wise to have your coach weighed and then match that weight with the tire chart for best wear. An underinflated or overloaded tire will build up more heat that could go beyond the endurance limits of the rubber and radial cords. This could cause sudden tire failure. Underinflation will also cause poor handling, faster and/or irregular tire wear, and can decrease fuel economy, and nobody wants that. Overinflation, on the other hand, will reduce the tire's contact area with the road, which reduces traction, braking ability, and handling. A tire that's overinflated for the weight that it's carrying is more prone to a harsh ride, uneven tire wear, and impact damage. RV tire age can be extremely important. When tires become 5 years old, they should be checked by a tire specialist, that is, someone who is a dealer in RV tires. To tell how old a tire is, Its date of manufacturing is located on the sidewall of each tire. RV owners should locate the Department of Transportation or DOT code on the tire that begins with DOT and ends with the week and year of manufacture. For example, a DOT code ending with 0304 indicates a tire manufactured in the third week of 2004. While checking tire pressure, you should always do a visual and touch check. Look and feel all of your tires for any abrasions or excessive splits or weather-related wear. Taking great care of your tires will go a long way in making RV travel an enjoyable experience. If your motorhome sits in the same place for long periods of time, a set of tire covers might be a good idea as well to protect tires from the UV rays and changing weather conditions. Having your motorhome sit for long periods of time brings up other issues that need your attention. The slides need to be put in and out at least once a month to make sure that all the parts of the slide operation are working properly. To help ensure this, all exposed slide rails need to be lubricated monthly. You should also spray slide-out rubber seal conditioner on the seals surrounding all slides. This will help prevent them from drying out and cracking, which will allow leaks. When leaving your motorhome stored for any length of time, you will also need to maintain the batteries. Make sure they are turned off. You will find the switch in the battery compartment. Next, your 12-volt disconnect. This will be found on your panel to your left as you enter the door. Make sure this is also off. Next is your inverter. The controls for this are above the driver's seat and they require you to arrow up or down until you find inverter. Then make sure it is in the disabled position. When ready to get out of storage, simply reverse all the procedures. Speaking of batteries, Tiffin is making a new line of high-tech batteries available on Phaetons, buses, and Zephyrs. These batteries are known as Lifeline. Lifeline batteries provide industry-leading reserve capacities, ample cranking capabilities, and 2 to 3 times the life cycle of other batteries. Lifeline batteries provide an average service life between 6 and 8 years in standard RV applications. In addition, your leveling jacks need to be exercised each month. Your slides should always be in when you raise the jacks, so doing both things at the same time makes sense. Before you store the jacks, let's clean the exposed portion. To do that, spray a good quality lubricant on the area and then wipe it off. This will reduce possible damage to the seal as the arms go into the stored position. An excellent choice of lubricants is a brand T9. This will also work on your steps. The jacks and the hydraulic slides all operate off the same hydraulic system. The hydraulic fluid levels of this system must be checked once yearly, and that is no fun in many different models, but it can be done. Let's show you what the hydraulic system looks like in one of the models so you can see the complete tank and how to check it. Screw off the white top, which is also your level measurement. See the level marks on the white portion that is housed in the hydraulic fluid? That's easy enough. So now let's look at some other models. Oh, this is a little different situation. You will need to extend your arm around this way and find and remove the white top in the center of the system. Check the level and replace the top. Thank goodness we only needed to do this once a year. If this proves too difficult for you for any reason, take your coach by an RV dealer and ask them to check it. Here is another important item that needs to be checked at least twice a year. All motorhomes with air tanks that play a major role in lifting the coach for travel will have some condensation in these tanks. This can lead to a small amount of water, which can lead to rust. If water is allowed to stay in the tanks, leaks will result, and air tank replacement could be required. Without a doubt, you don't want that expense. So here is how to drain the water from these tanks. For models built on a Freightliner or Spartan chassis, begin by starting the engine and turning the steering wheel all the way to the right as far as it will go. Turn off the key and go to this tire area. Look in front of the tire directly at the side rails of the chassis. You might need a flashlight, but you will see a cable loop. Reach in and pull this loop and hold for a few seconds. You will hear air escaping and possibly feel a small amount of water in the air. You have now drained the air tank on the right side. Repeat all moves on the left side. If you are unable to reach the loops with your hands, we recommend that you use the same long-handled hook that you used on your pull-down awning. Now, let's drain the air tanks on the Power Glide chassis by Tiffin Motorhomes. You will find this much easier. Go to the cargo door that houses your DEF tank. Above the tank are a group of valves that look like this. All are labeled, so find the two that say air tanks and turn them on one at a time for about 3 seconds. Once again, you should hear the air and feel the water if any is present. Well, you have now completed another important preventative maintenance step. The biggest item in chassis care would be salt and other minerals that melt snow and ice. That's right, I'm talking about those that live up in the northern part of our country and have motorhomes. If you travel during times of the year that snow and/or ice are present, cleaning them out of your chassis is extremely important before rust begins. Most chassis only come with a 1-year warranty, so taking care of them is extremely important. There is no right way to clean a chassis, but here are some recommendations in order to free the chassis from rust-causing minerals. Open your cargo doors and pressure wash the little curve in the bottom of the inside of the door, as well as the framework at the bottoms of these doors behind the rubber gasket. We are assured that those are two places that will certainly collect salt and other minerals. Here's another good idea. Get a lawn sprinkler of this type. Hook it up with full pressure and slide under your motorhome and leave it on for an hour or so, and then move it to another area. Make sure you cover the entire chassis. This should help rinse out any unwanted minerals. Oh, and by the way, make sure the temp is above freezing. Now, while exercising various components on the coach, be sure to include your generator. This should be done once a month. Start the generator and let it run a few moments. Then turn on enough things to pull at least 1/2 of the generator's rated power. Please check the ONAN manual for complete instructions on exercising your generator. We're going to show both the diesel and the gas models. Before exercising the generator, the oil and water levels should be checked. Just where to do this varies from model to model, so read the ONAN manual. Remember that the gas models are air-cooled and there is no water. Checking fluid levels on your engine is also extremely important and should be done before each trip. Check the oil, the transmission fluid, and coolant levels. Inside your engine compartment, you will find several fluid and air filters that also need changing on regular intervals. Tiffin Motorhome manufactures many models with different engines. Therefore, we urge you to sit down with your engine manual and study it to make absolutely certain you know just where the right items are and when they need service. If your engine light should ever come on, go to the information center and it should provide you with a number. When you call your dealer tech, give him this number and he should be able to tell you what is happening with your engine and how to alleviate the situation. In the latest models, we have gone to a wiring system that is known as a multiplex wiring system, which is one of the most technically advanced wiring systems made today. Finding a wiring problem is much simpler with this system. The following is a demonstration of how to check an area where there is a problem. The parent company is known as spidercontrols.com. Go to this website for much more information. At least once a year, you need to have a certified technician do a complete air conditioning checkup. This includes taking off the covers, a visual check of the coils, cleaning them if necessary, checking all the wiring to make certain that connections are tight, and then lubricating any moving parts. This also includes checking the amp draw for proper cooling. Once again, this must be done by a certified technician. Be sure to change the air conditioning filters inside the coach frequently. Your furnace should be cleaned out at least twice a year. This needs to be done only by a certified technician also. To do this, they will remove this outside cover to make sure that the flue area is clean and the burner tube is also clean. Also, they will make sure the squirrel cage is clean and free to move. Now, the water heater. The outside of the water heater is removed and a check is made to make sure the flue is clean and open, and that the burner is cleaned and working properly. Then there are the window weep hole drains. These let water that accumulate in the window channels drain. They can become clogged. To clean it takes one of two very high-tech tools. One choice is a wire tie, and the other would be a popsicle stick like this. Poke under the cover until you feel the drain hole, then make sure that it's open. A certified technician is probably not needed for this operation. The next part is for owners who spend their winters in the northern regions where freezing temperatures are frequent, or that leave their motorhomes stored in such weather. It's called winterizing. It is necessary to winterize the water system to help prevent the system from freezing. To do this, follow these instructions. The following demonstration of winterization is being performed on a 2008 Allegro bus. Depending on the model and the year of your coach, placement and color of various things may vary. Feel free to call Tiffin Motorhome Service Department to clarify any confusion. Their number is 256-356-0261. First, drain all the water from the water system, including the holding tanks, the hot water tank, and the fresh water tank, and drain the optional water filter if installed. For the holding tanks, open the gate valve to drain. Note that this procedure is to be performed only at a wastewater pumping station to prevent dumping contaminated water elsewhere. There are 3 different hot water systems used in various Tiffin coaches. We will show you the pictures of all 3 so you can decide which one you have. Regardless of the one you have, how to drain them is pretty much the same. Remove the outside cover and then remove the drain plug. When this tank is drained, replace the drain plug and then the cover. First is the Atwood system, and this is the drain plug. Next is the Suburban and its drain plug. Last is the Precision Instant Hot Water System, and here is where you drain it. For the fresh water tank, open the red handled valve to drain, then close this valve when finished. If an optional water filter is installed, remove the filter cartridge and store in a clean environment, like a plastic bag. Empty any excess water from the filter housing and then replace the housing. Number 2, turn the hot water heater bypass valve located in the water service compartment to the bypass position to prevent filling the tank with antifreeze. If your coach is equipped with the Aqua Hot system, when you run antifreeze through the water system, it will be winterized. Please note, the antifreeze you are using to winterize the water system is totally different from the type used in the Aqua Hot system. Please do not confuse the two. Number 3, disconnect the inlet connection to the water pump found in the water sanitary compartment. Attach the supplied vinyl hose to the inlet connection and hand tighten. Number 4, place the other end of the hose into a gallon of fresh water system antifreeze. Remember, do not use automotive antifreeze. Otherwise, damage to the system may result. Number 5, turn on the water pump to start the flow of antifreeze. Turn on each faucet one at a time until pure antifreeze is running out. Let about 1 cup run out to protect the drain traps and pipes. Be sure to flush toilets several times until it is clear the antifreeze is coming out. You also need to run the shower until antifreeze is coming out of the shower head, allowing a small amount to drain. Number 6. If your motorhome is equipped with either the one-piece washer-dryer or the stack washer-dryer, you should set the washer to run the shortest cycle possible to winterize it. This should protect the water and drain hoses also. Number 7. If you have a dishwasher, push the center button to start. Allow to run for about 90 seconds. You should hear water going into the dishwasher. Hit the left button to stop the machine. This should allow you to open the door after a slight delay. On the top of the inside door, you will find some options and a button to make a selection. Set to drain. Close the door and allow the drain to work. That's going to protect the hoses. Once it has drained, it should shut off. Please note that the models with a remote control should allow you to do the same things as shown. We said earlier that we had some more important information on engines. Some covers just usual additives, but some cover storage. If you're going to store a gas-powered unit, Sta-Bil added to your fuel should do the job. The correct amount to use is on the back of the bottle. Now for diesel motors, use the following products as needed. Fuel conditioners. Add fuel conditioner power service when experiencing power loss or if you suspect water in the fuel system and when operating in temperatures of 25 degrees or lower. This product will help dispense water and clean the injectors, plus lower the cloud point of diesel fuel. It may be helpful to your engine to add this every 3 tanks of fuel. Howes Lubricator Diesel Treatment. This product will work as a fuel conditioner and as an anti-gel for cold weather. Killam. This product is used to offset algae or bacterial growth in diesel fuel. These are usually found during low power complaints and during regular service. Normally, the algae or bacteria is found in the fuel filter and is black to brown in color and looks like cotton. Allowed to remain, this can completely block your injectors. Draining the contaminated fuel and treating the tank with a product like Killam is recommended. It should be available from Freightliner service centers. Engine coolants. There are several types of coolant ethylene glycol with DCA and SCA additives. Freightliner is still using ethylene glycol with DCA and SCA additive. The additive needs to be checked twice a year with coolant test strips. A nitrite level of 1200 ppm is ideal. A freeze point of minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit gives good freeze protection and boilover protection. Test strips for checking antifreeze should be available where antifreeze is sold. The directions for use are on the bottle. When dipped into the antifreeze, shake off the excess and allow to dry for a short time. Now, match the colors on the strip with the colors on the bottle to get the levels for nitrate, freeze point, and pH. Freightliner Chassis has a section of its website that covers storage for 60 days or more. If that fits your needs, go to www.freightlinerchassis.com and take a look. Spartan is using Rotella ELC, which is an OAT-based coolant. Rotella ELC only needs to have freeze point checks every 6 months. The extender shown should be added every 36 months or 300,000 miles. Flush and refill every 6 years or 600,000 miles. Ford chassis use Motorcraft Premium Gold Engine Coolant with bittering agent yellow cover. Tiffin's Power Glide chassis use Shell Rotella ELC. This is an OAT type coolant and is available at all international truck stores. Be certain to ask about the Rotella extended additive for this coolant. Starting with 2017 models, all Power Glide chassis will use only final charge coolant antifreeze. This is an extremely important issue if you are planning on purchasing a 2017 model on a Power Glide chassis. Well, that should get you through the winter. When spring comes, you'll want to get back on the road, and that will require de-winterization, which is pretty much a reversal of winterization. But should questions arise, call the service department at 256-356-0261. It is the hope of Tiffin Motorhomes that you find this DVD helpful in taking care of your motorhome and makes each trip even more enjoyable. If you encounter problems that your dealer is unable to handle, you are always welcome at the Factory Service Department in Red Bay, Alabama. Simply call them at 256-356-0261. Thank you for your business.